Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my performance review of Kyrie Irving's brand new shoe with Anta. So this is his signature shoe, right? And if you guys, as you guys all know, he left, or I guess Nike kind of kicked him out. I don't know, but you know, Nike and Kyrie had their falling out, and Kyrie left Nike. But his Nike signature shoe line was absolutely amazing. He had three signature shoe, or I guess he had three shoe lines. He had a signature shoe line, he had the low line, the Kyrie lows, and then the Kyrie Flytraps, which was his budget shoe. It was amazing, you know. A lot of people, it was super popular, amazing performers, great price, you know. But after that whole thing, he joined Anta. He's now their chief creative officer, and he has his own signature shoe. This is the Anta KAI one, and Kai apparently stands for Kyrie Andrew Irving, KAI, which is really dope. And I like how they changed the name. Imagine if this was the Anta Kyrie one. That'd be super confusing, you know. But yeah, this shoe retails for 125 bucks, which I think is a really good price. So thank you, Anta, for keeping it a low price. Of course, it is sold out on anta.com. It was a very limited release. But if you guys do want to cop it, Famuji has it, but it's really expensive. It's like 300 bucks. But also you can get it on like StockX and stuff like that. Try to leave a link in the description box below if you guys do want to cop it. Let's get it started right off with the Tracciones, and the traction in this colorway looks like ramen a little bit, especially here in the heel with this light tan color, you know. But yeah, this pattern is pretty interesting. There's also very fine texture to it, you know. And honestly, I thought it was gonna like dull out or something, you know. I thought I was gonna rub it off, but actually it didn't really rub off that much. A little bit actually on just like the medial side, I guess where the highway area is. But you know, obviously I just played indoors on this and didn't really rub off that easily, which of course is a good thing. And then here in this color we have this kind of like in the forefoot we have this purple color, and then we have Kyrie Irving's brand new logo with Anta, which looks really dope, right? Also here in the heel we have this you can see the exposed N2 foam. So how is the traction? The traction is actually really good, you know what I mean? I needed to break it in just for like literally a day, you know. When I first got it, I was very disappointed, you know, just trying it on my wood floors. It was not biting, you know. But once I got to the court, it was still kind of sliding around a little bit, but after like a game or two, it broke in pretty dang nicely and started to get better and better, you know what I mean? So yeah, it has a really nice stop on a clean court. I wouldn't say it's top tier, however, you know, comparing to like the AE one, the Curry flows on a clean court, you know, the AR one, I wouldn't say it has that hard of a stop, but it has a really nice bite, you know. It's consistent. I would say it's really good, right? Just not top tier. So if you're playing on a clean court, you just need to break it a little bit, but once you do, it's really nice. Also, another good thing about this outsole is that it has really minimal dust pickup, right? So if you're playing on a dusty court, it doesn't pick up dust that much, right? It bites through dust really well. Like if I was playing on a really dirty court, it would still just bite really well, you know what I mean? It would slide a little bit more than if I was playing on a clean court, of course, but like when I play with other shoes on a really dirty court, it starts to slide a lot, you know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, it's pretty dangerous where if you let a little bit too much dust pick up, like the LeBron 21, but the Kai one is really consistent, and if it does pick up dust, it's a very easy wipe. But like I said, it doesn't really pick up dust that much, and it bites through dust really well. So dust performance is really good. And also if you're playing on an outdoor court, I mean, it's probably not the best option, I would say, but it doesn't seem terrible, you know what I mean? Because the rubber is a little bit soft, but the grooves are really thick and there's a lot of surface area, as you guys can see. So outdoor use is it seems okay, but not the best, you know. So overall traction, I was very surprised, and I was really happy once I broke it in, and it has a really nice consistent bite through all surfaces, right? Clean or dirty. And then moving on to the heel to toe transition, is extremely smooth because of how smooth and soft this cushioning setup is, right? So here in the heel, we have a nice kind of like curve shape, but this kind of foam, whatever foam they're using here, and also they're using full length N2 foam, has a lot of compression here in the heel. So it's super duper soft in the heel. And then coming here to the forefoot, we have a nice curve shape, and it's super flexible. You know what I mean? Like, it's not super easy to flex, you know, but it is pretty dang easy. I pretty much do it with one finger, and it has a little bit of a rebound back, you know. It doesn't it's not super springy. I would say it's more like soft. You know, something that's super springy would be like the Wild 10s, you know, with the full length carbon fiber, or the GT Cut 3 super springy. You know, the Lyrin 4 with the full length carbon fiber is super springy as well. So those are a little bit more springy, you know, but it's a little bit more pipped in your step, you know. But the Kai 1, it has a little bit of that, but it's more on the softer side of things. But overall, heel to toe transition when you're doing heel dominant strides on the court is extremely smooth, right? Now moving on to the cushioning setup, which is one of my favorite parts about the Kai 1. So it doesn't really say what this foam is, like I said, but there is a lot of compression. You know, the heel is very, very soft, so that feels really nice, right? It's very, very comfortable. Like I said, they're using full length N2 foam, and it's very exposed here on the medial side of the shoe. So the step and comfort is extremely nice, and I would say it's one of the most plush cushioning setups that you can get, but also it's responsive. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like too mushy or anything. I feel like they did a really good job balancing out the cushioning setup, because some cushioning setups, it can be a little too soft, a little too much compression, and you don't feel fast. You know what I mean? But here in the Kai 1, I feel like they blended everything very well together with responsiveness, plushness, you know, step and comfort, compression, you know, and also just like feeling quick. You still feel quick, but also it's really, really comfortable. You know what I mean? And it's pretty hard to do, you know? The one thing that I really love about the cushioning setup is the step and comfort and underfoot cushioning. So if you remove the insole, right? First of all, the insole is all right. It's nothing amazing. You know, it's just a regular, they're probably using N2 foam. It says N2 foam on it, but it's just like regular thickness. It doesn't improve the step and comfort that much, right? But if you look underneath the actual insole, we can see a very, very open mesh, right? It's a soft mesh stroke board, as you guys can see, right? So yeah, it's really, really soft for underfoot cushion. You can feel the N2 foam right under your foot. And also another thing is you can see this part, right? This open kind of heel part. So I think that helps a little bit as well, because there is a little bit of space, right? So when you kind of land and do heel strides, you guys can see it kind of pokes out, right? So I definitely feel like that helps a little bit with impact protection as well, especially on heel strikes. So yeah, underfoot cushioning, step and comfort's really, really nice. You can see in the midfoot there is a carbon fiber midfoot chain plate, but then like in the heel and also in the forefoot, it's very, very nice, right? There is a little subtle bounce, you know, but it's not as bouncy as Boom, but it feels a little bit bouncy, you know, especially comparing to Boost. Boost is just more soft. So there is a little bit of a subtle bounce. Underfoot cushioning is great. Impact protection is amazing. There is nice compression here in the heel, but also court feel is pretty dang good as well. It's not amazing for court feel, but it's still pretty dang good for court feel. And also it feels overall pretty dang responsive. You know what I mean? So it's an amazing cushioning setup, especially for guards, but also I feel like bigger guys will like it as well, right? So there is the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the upper. So the upper broken really nicely. It's really soft now, especially here in the toe box. We can see in this colorway this embroidered pattern. So that's very nice for quality, and around that we have a good amount of fuse as well, right? So the fuse adds for more support and durability, but it's broken very, very nicely. It conforms to my foot extremely well. Also here for the midfoot strap, this doesn't really do anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a one-way midfoot strap. Doesn't really improve lockdown that much. I mean, the Zion 3 SE just came out with the two-way strap, which definitely that helps a lot more for really, really good lockdown. This is just one way. It doesn't really do anything, right? It says Kyrie Irving. You can kind of see with the hieroglyphics, you know? But yeah, it's a really thin strap, so it doesn't really add that much bulk, which I do like. And then also we have a lot more fuse, but we have a little bit more of the like embroidered material here on the lateral side of the shoe. But also another thing that I really like about the upper is the back part of the shoe, right? So over the tongue, we have a good bit of padding, you know, it's very, very plush. And then in the ankle area, we have a lot of padding as well. So we have like an Achilles pad a little bit, you know, there's extra padding where your Achilles is, but also on the sides of the shoe where your ankle bone is, there's nice thick padding as well. And it feels more like a memory foam. It feels really nice and plush, improves lockdown as well. So it's just really comfortable and very cozy here in the back of the shoe, right? But also it's a really thin material here in the toe box with good support, you know? So it's a really nice material. It's a really nice upper that feels great on foot. But also the quality is pretty dang good, especially for only 125 bucks, right? I guess like the fuse isn't the best, but like it doesn't feel terrible, you know? So yeah, it's a great upper. And now moving on to the fit, I went true to size and the shoe fits me like a glove. My toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe, right? It's a pretty snug fit here in the toe box, and width wise I would say it's like normal width. So yeah, if you want a pretty snug fit, go true to size. If you want a little bit more loose and you have a wide foot, probably go up half a size. But for most people, you should be fine going true to size. Also here for the midfoot, it's not super narrow or anything. I would say it's more of like a normal width as well. So there is the fit there. Moving on to the support and lockdown, it's really good. For lateral containment, we can see all the lateral counters, right? So we have this plastic piece coming up, acting as sidewall, especially like right here. It kind of like peaks up. Here in the midfoot, we have the Anta logo, which is this pretty crazy plastic piece. And then also here in the heel, we have the foam coming up, acting as sidewall, and there is an internal TPU heel counter. So lateral containment is really good. You know, my foot never came out of the footbed if my foot felt contained into the footbed for lateral movements. And also lateral stability is really good. We have a very wide base here in the forefoot. It's not like a crazy outrigger, but we have this part protruding out, right? You can see the rubber protruding out, giving you a wide base. So lateral stability is really good here in the Kai 1 as well. Didn't really have any issues with heel slippage because of all this padding here in the ankle area. So yeah, overall support and lockdown is really good, which makes this shoe feel overall very responsive, which kind of also ties into the weight a little bit, right? So the overall weight's not super light. I think it's a little bit heavier than the average, right? Yeah, 13.35 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 13.4 ounces, right? So the average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So the Kai 1 is like around an ounce heavier than average. Not a huge deal, but of course it's not super lightweight or anything like that. But it doesn't feel like bulky or anything, you know what I mean? Like nothing about this shoe is bulky, nothing protrudes out like crazy. So of course that's a good thing. And also this shoe is really responsive, you know what I mean? The traction is really consistent, has a consistent bite through like all conditions of the court. Cushion, although it's soft and comfortable, it's still responsive, and lockdown is great if the shoe fits me well too. So I felt really fast when I was playing the shoe, you know what I mean? I felt really quick. I didn't really have to worry about the shoe. But you know, the one thing that I really noticed, especially switching around from all the shoes that I was testing, like the Zap 1, the JB2, the AE 1, which is like my backup shoe, this shoe was the most comfortable. Like it was the most kind of like plush, and like I just felt like really good when I was playing it. And also, like I said, very responsive. So there's that. Moving on to the ventilation, not the best. There's not a whole lot of airflow, even through this kind of like embroidered material, and also like the tongue, like there is a little bit of mesh, but it's pretty thick, you know, so there's no airflow, and this shoe is actually kind of on the warmer side of things. And then moving on to the aesthetics, I like it, you know what I mean? It looks great. I like the incorporation of the Anta logo. It also is functional, you know, acts as a sidewall. The embroidered pattern looks pretty good on the toe box. I think it's a little too much for the colorway. I like a little bit more of like a, you know, low key, just like all one color type of guy. But the overall silhouette, this shoe looks great, you know what I mean? So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, it's amazing, and they killed it. They hit it out the ballpark. Anta made an amazing shoe, right? So the Kai 1 for 125 bucks, amazing price. You get amazing tech, you know what I mean? Like, you guys remember the Nike Kyrie 1, guys? The cushion was absolutely terrible, you know what I mean? And moving on to like even like the Kyrie 5, even with like the Zoom Turbo units, it wasn't amazing. This cushioning setup is amazing. They're giving us their best tech, you know? So this is an amazing performer. I love the cushioning setup especially, and I really liked how consistent the traction was, you know? So yeah, I love this shoe. This shoe will definitely be in my rotation. It's definitely a top 10, even a top 5 performer for me right now. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it, you know? And also for guards, it's amazing, you know? It's a really comfortable and plush cushioning setup that's also responsive. So you feel really quick, you know? So it's great for guards, but also for bigger dudes, I feel like it'll be really good, you know? Overall support's really good. And also, like I said, the cushion is very comfortable. So for most play styles and positions, this shoe is an overall all-around amazing performer, and I really enjoyed playing this shoe. So anyways, that about concludes my performance review of the Anta Kai 1. It's amazing, and I definitely do recommend it to you guys. So that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.